And what did you find was the main factor for people saying, I love it here? Was it leadership? Was it that they were following their passion? Like, what was it?
Yeah, leadership, always leadership. Here's the thing, you might love your job, but if you have a manager that sucks, it's a miserable place to work. When an employee hated their job, they talked about the manager. When an employee loved their job, they talked about the mentor.
Hmm.
A mentor, 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 mentor. Mentorship versus management was key. It was the magic behind uh, really what created a thriving organization. It's where people really looked to somebody in leadership and they said, yeah, you are the person I like myself best with.
And so what did you find was the main difference between a manager said and someone that people called a mentor?
Yeah, so when I would walk into an organization and they'd be like, ah, man, I work here because of Susie. Uh,
Yes.
I love Susie. I left my other company and I followed Susie over here just to work for her. Who's Susie? Why is Susie so special? We found that in order to become a mentor, here's something that's really key before I dive into this. Mentorship has to be earned. That's why it's so special. That's why it's so powerful. A lot of companies, they'll give a manager a title, like you're the supervisor, you're the director. We promoted you as the executive. Mentorship doesn't work that way. You cannot become a mentor until the mentee invites you into their heart. You have to earn it. Like Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker had Obi-Wan Kenobi, right?
Yeah.
Katniss Everdeen, she had Haymitch. Frodo, Frodo had Gandalf. What else? Aladdin. Aladdin had the genie.
Yeah.
Rocky. I don't know if you've seen Rocky. Rocky
Uh-huh.
had Mick,
Yeah.
right? These cool stories that where you have the hero going through the story, but who always appears? It's the mentor.
Yes.
And they become a mentor because of 5 C's. I call it the 5 C's of mentorship. Number one, those mentors were confident. They were people of a sound mind, but they believed in themselves. They believed in what they were doing. They believed that I'm here to help you. I know what I'm doing. I know how to help you get where you want to go, and we're going to do that. And I'm here to help you, and I've done it before. And I'm confident that I'm going to be able to help you. That exudes trust. Or people
Yeah.
go, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, you know what you're talking. You're confident. I like it. So confidence was number one. Second is credibility. What's your background? I want like if I'm coaching with you and I want to know your background. What have you done? What qualifies you to be a coach?
Hmm.
Where did you study? What's your resume? Like we had, people that they worked at a car dealership selling cars. And if you're the sales manager, I want to know as the sales team member, have you ever sold a car before? Right? What's your history? And then number 3 is competence. You might know everything about the game of basketball, but can you actually get out and shoot a hoop? I want to mentor from a practitioner, not just a theorist. So people that were living and breathing the thing that they were doing. Yeah, you might be the manager, but could you actually get in and use the computer and use the technology and sit on the teller and bring people in and check people out and load the luggage and like can you actually do that? Or are you just someone that sits there and tells everybody what to do?
Hmm.
Competence mattered. And then number 4 was candor. Candor, candor, candor. Great mentors had the ability to create relationships so strong that honesty could exist. You're not a mentor if you're not going to speak the truth. You're not a good mentor if you're not going to be honest with me. I want to mentor with someone who's going to give it to me straight. If I'm killing it, let me know. But if I'm not, let me know. But they've also it's kind of the relationship like a bank account. We make the deposits, right? And the more deposits you make, that allows you to make withdrawals. So these great leaders were good at making deposits of trust, making deposits of connection, getting to the part about the people, and then that allowed them to have candid conversations, to ask more, to go to an employee and say, listen, hey, performance is just not where it's at. I care about you. Okay, I'm here to help you. I'm on your team, but we got to change some things. We have standards in this organization, and we got to improve. So let's get you there. right? That kind of a conversation. That would be a candid conversation. So that matters. And then that brings us to our last C, which is caring. They had the ability to care. There's so many managers that are put into management that should never be managers.
True.
They were just promoted. They were promoted. They were good employees. They were great sales professionals. They were good staff members, and so they just got promoted into management. And then all of a sudden they realize, oh my gosh, I have to care about people. I have to take care of people. I have to love people. I have to listen to them. I have to worry about them. And for some people, that's not their cup of tea. That's not what they love to do. And so, yeah, the ability to truly care about an individual, to become an advocate, not just a developer, that was key. So those are the 5 C's, Anna: competence, credibility, confidence, candor, and the ability to care. That's what allows you to become a mentor. And when people look at you and they go, yeah, you've got all the C's, that's where you become influential.
That is so amazing what you're saying. And what you were mentioning, all these 5 C's, I was thinking about the manager I had. And the reason why I stayed in the job I had. Because it's so true. Look, I've heard so many people, I'm not going to mention names, but I've heard so many people criticize heavily millennials and all the new generations and how they perform at work. And then just like, well, they don't commit. They all want to be now TikTokers or influencers, and they don't want to commit to any organization, and they're entitled. And I've heard so much of that, the performance of millennials at work. So true what you're saying. And sometimes I'm like, maybe the problem is not really with the millennials itself. Generations change, right? And I think it's expected that we're different, and not only expected, but we probably should hope that generations are different and they're better than the previous one. But
Totally, you're exactly right. You are so dead on, perfectly right.
And in that sense, I think obviously if people change, that management should change. But that example you just describing a person I know, like a manager I had, that still has my loyalty. Like I'm still there even we don't work together, but I'll be
It
there.
lasts forever. Like you never forget the good ones, ever.
Yeah.
And like here's the crazy thing. Like, okay, if I were to ask you to tell me who the last 3 NFL football MVPs were,
Yeah, no.
could
No,
you tell me who they are?
no chance.
Could you tell me who the last 2 Academy Award winners are for Best Actor?
No.
Okay, let's try one more. What about the last 2 Miss Universes?
No, I don't know.
Nobody knows.
No.
I ask that question all the time. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
But yet, in the world, we would deem those people to be fairly successful.
Mhm.
They're popular people. They've got millions of followers on Instagram, TikTok, whatever you want to call it. They've got a lot of money. They would be considered beautiful and elegant and prestigious people. Nobody knows who they are. But watch this. Can you tell me the name of the teacher who made the biggest difference for you in your young life? Do you remember their name?
Yes, I do, definitely. It was in primary school. Jasmine.
What's the name of the teacher?
Jasmine. Her name was Jasmine. Yes.
Could you tell me the name of a manager who's made a difference in your life? What's the name of his name, the guy that you've been talking about?
Ben. His name is
Ben.
Ben Curry.
A
Yes.
shout out.
Yes.
Can you see the difference, right? It is the difference between success and significance.
Mm-hmm.
And if managers, businesses, organizations, if they can learn how to become that person, to become a Ben, to become a Jasmine, to become a Mr. Jensen,
Yeah.
oh, everything changes. Everything changes. And I know it's easier said than done, but when it's achieved, it is lasting. And it doesn't just increase productivity and profitability, and those are things that come from it, but you get to influence people's lives for good. You get to be legendary. You get to be the person that's never forgotten.
Yes.
And because they were with you, they lived a better story. Oh, What an opportunity. What a job. And uh, man, and that's why I live on this world, is to help leaders and influencers to become that. If I can help people to learn and recognize the responsibility and the opportunity they hold to write a better story for humanity, then I've not just been the best in the world. I've been the best for the world. I've lived a life of significance, not just a life of success.
Ah,